Hello, YouTube GZTV once again back with another video, and we have The Walking Dead. Excuse me, we have a review for the 14th episode of Season 11, the Rotten Core, I believe it is called. We're going to be calling on some articles, give it some inspiration, kind of discuss with the community. Damn, I got that double chin going crazy. But, yeah, after this we are going to be reviewing the 1976 Carrie movie. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but we'll be talking about that. But here we go. So, this episode of The Walking Dead, it wasn't just dedicated to ensuring that we all realized how badly we'd underestimated how much it was possible to despise Sebastian, although there was a good bit of that too. It also teed up one reveal after another and told a most deserving character in no uncertain terms to rest in pieces, who turned out to be both married and expecting, and who wound up giving Walker's indigestion. Here we go. Let's put our shit back in our pants and zip up, shall we? Picking up where Warlords left off, the Rotten Core wasted little time making an unlikely team of Maggie, Gabriel, Aaron, Elijah, and Lydia, and Negan and Annie, who turned out to be the reformed villain's wife, and one far happier about it than, say, Sherry was. In the secret room of an apartment, accessible only through a closet door, they decided to split up and sweep the building to round up anyone left that Carlson and the troopers hadn't yet slaughtered. Or sent off a fucking building. But they'd scarcely gotten started when Negan spotted through a window a trooper with a stowaway from Maggie's truck. Herschel! In no time, the Savior's former leader had brutally dispatched the trooper before the Moppet's eyes. At the same time, Annie was revealing to Maggie that she was 12 weeks pregnant. And yes, she knew about her husband's past. She had one herself. All I can do now, said Annie, is try to be better, just like him. Which wasn't much comfort to Maggie when she learned that he had her son. If anything happens to him, she warned, it'll have to happen to me first, Negan promised. And back in the hiding place, Herschel deduced that Negan was his father's killer and trained a gun on him, so this is the first time that Herschel kind of finds this out about Negan. And Negan's trying to be a good guy, like, you have to give him a little credit. Yeah, what he did was kind of irreversible. He killed a lot of really important people to their group, but man, I mean, come on, man. Like, this guy's trying to change, he's trying to help you guys out, he's helping your son, and yeah. Negan admitted that he had indeed murdered Glenn and maybe deserved to die himself. But all the other people hiding out, they didn't. And if Herschel pulled the trigger, Carlson and company would know where they were. I mean, it's kind of fucked up, but like, that's the reason why you shouldn't shoot Negan right now. Maybe if they were out isolated somewhere, you could, but yeah, there you have it. So the kid turned over the weapon to Lydia, at which point Negan actually appeared to shed a tear. Like, yeah, he feels fucked up. Like, the guilt is weighing on him because these people are, like, pissed at him about this, obviously. Later, Carlson took a break from eyeballing a bottle of whiskey like he was Sue Ellen Ewing long enough to come this close to finding the secret room. But in the nick of time, he was distracted by sounds from up on the roof. Gabriel and Aaron, obviously like a plot device, convenient device, if you will. As Carlson speechified at them rather than simply blow them away, Elijah snuck up behind his guards, and presto changeo, suddenly Carlson was begging for his life, not the other two. His pleas fell on deaf ears, however. Aaron shot him off the roof and let his reanimated victims down below chow down. Pretty shitty death. I'm so glad that we are friends again. So getting into the Commonwealth, Sebastian, already a lock for most heinous character of the year, right? Or of the show, fucking honestly. Threatened Daryl and Rosita into breaking into a rich old buddy's daddy's panic room to clean out the vault, since mommy had cut off the brat's allowance. Oh, I don't get fucking money from my mom anymore. Let's just have people do shit for me because I'm higher up. Why didn't his guards just do it? They couldn't shoot. It would attract attention. But Sebastian knew that Daryl and Rosita could get the job done without gunfire. They've been rogue. They've been out in the wild before Commonwealth for a fucking long time. However, reluctantly, the duo accepted the challenge, only to discover that they weren't the first people to whom Sebastian had assigned the task. And he's trying to find the right people to do it, and obviously, yeah. 1 second. Jesus fuck, man, what's going on? Hold on. He'd previously offered the poor a cut of the money if they did it, and one unfortunate soul, April, had been trapped in the panic room for ages, like, ever since probably the last time he fucking did this. As you'd expect of Daryl and Rosita, they made short work of the job. Yeah, there were some glitches, like a noisy alarm that had drawn a bunch of walkers, but they were just going to smear themselves with guts and walk out as casually as a shoplifter might from the corner store. Before they could, however, shots rang out. I mean, what? I mean, it was Mercer, however you say his name, and Carol. Getting kind of plot convenient. She had recruited him to help when Daryl had missed their lunch date. Finally, they all tried to stroll out covered in gore, but April, whose only luck appeared to be bad, got part of the uniform Rosita had given her snagged on a walker and wound up getting eaten. And a walker, caught her, and she started panicking. Obviously, if she would have stayed silent, the walker would have fucked off, but nope. Yeah. Once Daryl, Rosita, and Carol had met up with Sebastian's guards, and they'd glibly revealed how many people had been sent in to try to retrieve the loot, Mercer shot them both in the head, the guards. He had no tolerance for that kind of bullshit. Nevertheless, he said that Daryl and Rosita would still have to pay Sebastian. Fighting him was a losing battle, obviously, because he has relatives that are royal in this fucking community. Then, as the episode drew to a close, Carol paid a visit to Lance, who didn't hide the fact that he'd long known that Sebastian was up to. What Sebastian was up to. He pretty much knows everything. He's a fucking snake. He sneaks around the communities and all that. His victims put themselves in bad situations, argued the politician, either through stupid choices or an unwillingness to play by the rules, and that can be kind of applied to him as well. Carol, ever the consummate actress, seemed to make him believe that in her. He'd found a kindred spirit, someone who understood. Finally, before everyone departed the apartment complex, Negan acknowledged that he and Herschel had unfinished business. Find him when he was grown, Negan told the boy. They'd finish it. For their part, Aaron and Gabriel had to return to the Commonwealth. Lance would want to know what happened, or some version of it anyway. But if Ian's people hadn't hijacked the convoy and stolen the guns, they all wondered who had. Oh man, cut to 2 weeks earlier in a quick scene that revealed that the culprit was none other than Leah, whose Reaper gang pretty much got fucking destroyed to pieces. I mean, we all knew we'd be seeing her again eventually. I mean, she's an important character to people like Daryl. I mean, was anyone else surprised to realize that 3 months had passed since Negan took off? The time lapses in the show don't necessarily make sense. I mean, we can all agree that Sebastian needs to die an even more horrific death than Carlson. Hopefully, eventually, he gets that fucking justice in the show. Because, man, am I sick of his character. And I will admit, admittedly, there were a few times where I was kind of, bored with this episode. There were some cool things that happened. There were some big reveals, things that kind of stacked on top of each other. I don't know, man. I mean, there were some moments where I was like, okay, it's like the same old shit. The same old plot devices, the same old layout for a story. It is what it is, though. There's some cool reveals. Hopefully Leah makes herself known in this series once again, to the Commonwealth even, because we haven't seen her really interact with the Commonwealth, and I think that would be interesting. But I'm out, guys. Thank you guys for watching, all your favorite TV shows, all your favorite movies. We're getting ready to cover Carrie. So yeah, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day. I'm going to probably try to stream a couple times today, so